About 10 months ago, I made a video talking about the Neo robot, which was this Jetsons level technology that was fundamentally a household chore bot. And I've always been skeptical when the claim is made that it's right around the corner, because you hear that for every piece of tech ever, and then half of it just kind of fizzles into the fucking ether, just falls into the back rooms, never to be seen again. But now, 10 months later, I got a bunch of egg on my face because the Neo robot is here. And it's affordably priced. It's a very cost-conscious $20,000 for the household chore bot. You're losing money not buying this thing. It can do so much. Kind of. To a certain extent. It does chores. Now, Marques Brownlee just made a video kind of going over his qualms with this robot, and I think he brings up a lot of good points. Points that I also briefly mentioned when even just talking about this from a conceptual standpoint, even before the price was revealed and even before they showed its actual capabilities here with chores. It is just... I don't see a world where it makes sense to own this, even if you do just have $20,000 shoved in your fucking prison wallet. If you got $20,000 floating in your colon and you're looking to get it out, I think there are significantly better uses for it than buying the Neo robot.
So meet Neo, potentially the most futuristic product we've ever seen. This thing is a full-fledged humanoid robot, 5'6", 66 pounds, 4-hour battery life, self-charging, and it lives in your house. It's finally here.
Now, 10 months ago, the design of the robot looked fundamentally the same, and I think they do still have similar faces. Back then, the main one I saw looked like Shaka from One Piece, or it looked like fucking Dynamo from Deadlock. Now they have like those two little eyeballs and like a leather mask there. It almost kind of just looks like Jason Voorhees' mask to a certain extent on this thing's face. And I think having it be 5'6" is obviously the best possible decision you can make. That is the optimal height. I think most human beings would like to spec into that if they could choose their height. Luckily, I was blessed with 5'6" naturally. I wasn't, needed to be created in a lab to achieve that. But I understand why they went with 5'6" at the very least. And the rest of the specs here sound pretty good.
It's a housekeeper. It has the same dexterity as a human because it's shaped just like a human, walks around on 2 legs, has 10 fingers. It can fold laundry and put it away for you, or it can do the dishes for you from start to finish and then put everything away. It can go around and water the plants outside or inside on a perfect schedule, and it never forgets a single plant. And then it'll go around and vacuum and tidy up the house if anything gets left out. It always knows where everything is. It can find the TV remote, and it'll basically actively do all the chores that you know you have to do, but you don't actually want to do. And when it's done, it goes back to its little docking spot and charges itself.
That fully sums up the purpose of Neo. It exists to do the chores you don't usually feel like doing for 20,000 clams. So it'll go do these things to varying degrees of success, but it will do them, and then it goes and then chains itself to your wall. It goes and plugs itself in and charges itself. That's really about all that it does. Except, of course, for those little JoJo Siwa dance moves you saw it do there for a second. Other than that, it's just focus on doing chores. Its goal is to, fucking pass the butter and fold the clothes. That's really it. Now, a lot of people talk about, this is for lazy people, like people that don't want to do chores and just want, this robotic servant to do it for them. But really the main clientele, as far as I can tell, is that it's aiming to help elderly or disabled individuals whom these kind of activities are more difficult for. But at a $20,000 price tag, that's not exactly a reasonable price to try and help there. And I imagine, as Marques Brownlee also points out towards the end of the video, that's not going to be a demographic that's really, enthusiastic about being an early adopter of this, because basically you're guinea pigging this thing. This is so new. This is such brand new technology. It's still pretty primitive here. You are beta testing it for a $20,000 buy-in. But there are, admittedly, other options that are less than $20K. Like if you want to rent it, from what I can tell, there's like monthly installments you can do. But even still, it is extremely expensive for this.
This is available to order? This feels like it could be the best tech announcement of all time in 2025, except this isn't real.
You know what is real though? The Starforge solo leveling collab. Starforge just dropped its PC in collaboration with Solo Leveling. It's available right now. You can click the link in the description below. There's also a big Halloween PC sale. Marques Brownlee goes on to mention that one of the main things about it not being real is how they're claiming you can order it today, making you believe that it's here and it's available now. I can go right now, get my Neo ordered, and it'll be here lickety split, and then I'm going to have my nice little household chore bot running around. I can slap him on the ass and tell him good game, keep up the good work, and then he'll, you know, maybe give me a cool catchphrase like, I've got nipples, Greg, can you milk me, or something, then he'll go charge himself, all my chores are done. It's not here. This is a pre-order, and there are options for a $500 a month subscription or $20K to own it outright, and it's expected to deliver sometime next year, but there's no actual real delivery date that we know of at the moment, so it's not here today or anything. It's still right now just an idea that you are pre-ordering with the hope that it will be delivered when they say it is. But that's not the only thing that makes this not real.
My issue with this product is the gap between what it's actually capable of today and what they're promising as they take your money today. Like, I think when people watch a video like this, they expect that this robot has some sort of built-in artificial intelligence that allows it to recognize objects and navigate around on its own and learn your house and be productive for those hours while you're gone. And that, I think, would be a reasonable thing to get out of watching that video because that's what it's designed to show. That's what you're supposed to feel. That's the dream.
He is exactly right. When you watch these showcases, what they're selling you on is a pipe dream. But what you're getting is the crack pipe. You watch these videos and you're under the impression that this robot has the ability to like recognize things in space and accomplish these tasks like Sonny from iRobot or something, like what you've seen in movies throughout the decades, where this is a robot in like the truest sense of the word that you picture up here in your noodle, and that this has like some kind of AI driven components that are able to somehow like, you know, figure things out for itself so it can do your chores. But that is not the reality of what is actually being done here to get the robot to accomplish these tasks.
But that's not actually what's happening. So Joanna Stern, the legend, she did a video with this Neo robot also this week where the company showed her all of the things that it could do. And turns out 100% of the things that they showed her were remotely controlled by a human in another room wearing a VR headset with controllers. That's not exaggerating. 100% of the stuff they showed her. The carrying things around, the loading up the dishwasher. I mean, look at this thing. Yeah, all of this is teleoperated. And this was a demo set up by this 1X company. So this is like best case scenario stuff.
This is very, very, very different than what most people expect from this robot. It is not doing these things itself per se. It is being teleoperated by someone wearing a headset and everything to control it themselves. So it's basically acting like an extension of their body. They're playing a VR game in your household as your butler, basically. It is not a robot in the way that you think of it. So what you're doing is you're paying $20,000 for someone to come into your house in a robot skin suit. That's basically it. And like very stiffly, like the Tin Man, walk around and very slowly go through simple chores laboriously. Like even something like loading the dishwasher is a Herculean effort here for the Neo robot, and it is being controlled by a human being in the first place. The Neo robot is just the conduit for it. It is just, I think it is very misleading for people that are just going to see this robot do things and not understand that it's not the robot itself doing them. It is a human being that is controlling it outside of that robot.
And I see a lot of people defending this robot online like, oh, no, there's probably other things that it can do autonomously. They just didn't show her yet. Really? You don't think they would show her the best stuff that this could do autonomously to keep selling the dream?
Fucking exactly. There's always crazy cope from people that are so desperate to defend like massive corporations for no reason, man. I don't get it. How do we live in an age where people are willing to fight tooth and nail, doing free PR for companies that don't give a fuck about them in the first place, don't even know they exist? They're just a piggy bank hoping to stick their dick in at some point. I don't understand where that delusion's even coming from. This is them coming out here and trying to put the best foot forward for this product, to try and sell the dream, like Marques Brownlee mentions. Why would they not show everything it can do autonomously? That makes no sense. That'd be the stupidest fucking marketing move ever. Now, he mentions that there are 2 things in that video that it does label as autonomously performed. One of them was opening a door for a guest, and the other was transporting a cup. Other than that, everything was teleoperated. That's so night and day from what people perceive this robot to be. It is not capable, or at least it doesn't seem like it's capable of doing the vast majority of your chores autonomously. It needs to be teleoperated to accomplish those tasks. So basically, you're paying $20,000 for real steel, like Hugh Jackman's real steel, but instead of like Hugh Jackman boxing and having the robot throw punches, it's Hugh Jackman cleaning piss off of your toilet bowl, and it's the robot mimicking it in your household. I highly recommend you watch his full video here because he does a great job breaking it down and also going through the footage from Joanna, who is the one that got all of this information and showcased what this thing can actually do. It's extremely interesting. He mentions, and he's right, that one of the big things is that it needs tons and tons of data. So the idea seems to be to push this out to early adopters so that way, while they're using it, it can be gathering all this data so it can get better at doing things autonomously. It can learn all of these variables. And in order to do that, it needs access to individuals' households of these early adopters. So they even have something called, I think it was expert mode if I remember correctly, where you opt in, you give permission to have one of their experts tap into the mainframe here of the robot and learn how to do a task by guiding the robot through it. So basically, he's digivolving into your house, like he's manifesting himself into your house, this expert, into the robot, so that way they can do the task and collect the data and get better at autonomously doing it down the line. And it seems like it boils down to early adopters that are going to spend this money to get the Neo are going to have to be okay with sacrificing some privacy for the sake of science, because down the line, maybe it'll lead to enough data that the Neo can eventually do it without the need of a teleoperator to be scheduled to take control of the robot, look through its sensors in your house, and do it. So, I mean, it is an interesting little creature here for $20K. It's a very interesting piece of technology.
5'6" humanoid that wanders around your house and does chores. Like, are there really that many people, you think, that are willing to spend that amount of money and know that they're going to have to potentially give up some pretty serious privacy and are basically going to be a beta tester for some unknown number of years to hopefully maybe someday achieve that dream? There are obviously a lot of potential downsides to this robot. You know, it's too small and weak to carry anything super heavy.
As a petite, fun-sized 5'6" man, I took great offense to him saying that right there about the robot. Too small and weak to carry anything heavy. Brother, I can carry some of the heaviest shit in Florida. I'm gonna chalk that one up to maybe he just, got a little lost in the sauce there. It has nothing to do with the robot being 5'6" or anything like that. It looks like it hasn't been hitting the gym. That's all. But he makes a very strong point here. How many people are willing to spend that kind of money and also be the guinea pigs for this technology for X amount of years? Who knows how long? Scheduling, this company's experts to take control of the robot, looking through their house to do the task to collect that data to improve it down the line, to maybe one day have it be something that's possible autonomously. I don't know. He also mentions he doesn't know. It is just a very interesting spot we find ourselves with this technology here. All I wanted to talk about here, though, is that a lot of people are really misled on what this robot is even capable of right now, because it is confusing. As he mentions in his video, what they're selling you, like the idea today, is not what it's capable of today. They're selling you the idea of what it could be many years down the line, but making it seem like it's here today, which I think is a bit scummy. In my personal perspective here, I just don't see a ton of people being comfortable paying that amount of money and just inviting all of these cameras and microphones that are remote viewable from these strangers into your household. I just imagine most people wouldn't really be comfortable with the idea of someone potentially peeping through those cameras that are remote viewable and these microphones that could be listening. Like, I imagine most people just wouldn't fully trust it. Like, around your family, like your kids and everyone around there would probably be a little on edge knowing that this robot, there is just the chance that someone is looking through it right now, even if you didn't schedule an expert to take control. Because again, these are remote viewing capable cameras and microphones, stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe there is a ton of people out there. I just would be very surprised if there were. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this because I was yapping about it 10 or so months ago, and now it's getting even closer to coming out. They're claiming that it's already here, ordered today, but it's still not actually fully here yet, but I just wanted to follow up. That's really about it. So, yeah.